What up, people? And we are back for another Thursday Night Live for Three Clarks Podcast. I am your host, Dwayne, alongside
and Jeffrey.
As you can see, they're fidgeting with their phones because they're live on the screen right now, fidgeting with their phones. Right. So they looking up at the camera and say, hey, what's going on there, everybody?
Smiling.
Yeah, so everybody, it's another Thursday night, and we are here. We are live, and we're feeling a little bit better.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, Jeffrey. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. So what's going on? Shantae, I ain't talked to you. They asked you a question this in a few weeks. What's going on with you in this last week or last few months? We haven't talked personally, but what y'all got going on? What you got going on this last week or last couple of weeks?
So my artist had a Halloween party on Saturday.
We'll talk about Halloween soon.
Which that was kind of fun. We must have been. It was a little fun. And then I am in the process of writing a murder mystery dinner. So I'm writing the script for, you know how you go to those dinners and everybody's like dressed up and they have their own characters and this, that, and the third. So I am preparing a script, a murder mystery dinner for the 1920s. And so that should be extremely fun.
Okay.
So we're going to find out who done it on Saturday night at the Winston residence. So that should be a lot of fun. And I am in the very beginning stages of putting together a 10-city college tour.
Whoa.
And so stay tuned. I will have more announcements as I get commitments from schools in Georgia.
What? That's nice.
Now that you have that in. So Jeffrey,
Oh.
what about yourself? What you got going on? What's going on with you, Jefferson?
You got more than me going on, believe me.
I do. I ain't doing nothing. I'll be at the crib.
You be at the crib chilling.
Watching
Homebound.
the homebound cooking Pop-Tarts.
Cooking Pop-Tarts.
Cooking Pop-Tarts. I didn't think you got to cook
Cooking Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, you got to put them in the toaster.
Don't tell Rachel that. She just eat them straight out the package.
She do eat them straight out because they cold.
They cold, yeah.
Feeling ain't even warm or nothing.
It ain't gooey, nothing. Just dry, not soft or nothing. Just Pop-Tarts. I like, you ain't gonna put them in the toaster now.
Because she don't know the goodness of them being in the toaster.
My gosh.
And my favorite is like the strawberry ones, like without
that's
the frosting.
Main one. That's the main one.
Without the frosting on the front, but just like the plain one.
Don't tell her that. She got the cookies and cream.
Oh, it's so good. I don't like the cookies and cream.
No
It's
s'mores. I like s'mores.
God.
Eating candy for breakfast.
They are literally the same person. Jeffrey and Rachel.
I need to give Jeffrey the one she didn't eat. She got I think she got some s'mores in there.
The food now.
That she didn't want.
Them ramen noodles and they gonna fight over them Pop-Tarts.
I didn't get her them ramen noodles. She want them shrimp and the Thai chili ones she got in there. She won't eat.
Yeah. We're gonna fight over that, and we're probably gonna fight over the what else we like?
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken, donuts.
Oh yes.
We're gonna fight all.
Right. So when she comes to visit her uncle, when she trying to get away from mama and daddy, she gonna be like, "What you got in here,
Everything she want."
Yeah, and then she gonna be like, "Don't listen." She tells us when she likes something, she can be like, "Don't eat that. I'm gonna eat that for lunch." Last night, she had her sights on these burritos that I made. She was like, "Put that aside for my lunch."
Yeah. She going to a welding job in the morning. She get up at 4:00 in the morning and get her stuff together. Get her lunch and her thermos, get ready for her welding job in the morning. Exactly. I'm like, what is you doing?
I'd have to hide Chick-fil-A when I get it.
Oh yeah, that's the super.
Oh
fight.
Yeah. Oh, she mad if you get. She big mad if you get Chick-fil-A and you didn't get her nothing.
Yeah, you gonna have an issue.
She like, okay, I know you did not walk up in here with no
Chick-fil-A.
And you ain't got me nothing.
Exactly.
No, that's not what's going on.
That's not what the haps is. So, well. So myself, I'm very don't got much going on. Got a couple clients. I'm still selling houses, people. So
yeah,
I know the interest rates have gone up. So interest rates went up 0.75%. But there's still programs out there where people can get into houses if you're a seasoned buyer or if you're a first-time home buyer, give me a call. I can help you out with some of these programs. I got some lenders now doing some great things. Even if you don't have any money down, I got lenders trying to help you out. So I'm still out here trying to slang these homes. So come on and holler at me. I'm going to get you into a house. What you need. My phone number, as I say, is 404-918-3460. 404-918-3460. And also, if you're interested in podcasting, audio, visuals, cameras, streaming video, let me know. My church has looking for volunteers to help out in their media department, and I can help you out with that also. So holler at me. So that being said,
did you ever think your brother was going to be a church goer?
Not really.
A Bible thumper.
I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm a church goer. I'm not a Bible thumper. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Did you ever envision in his future that he was gonna be going to church every Sunday, even on the off days? He gonna be at church.
Man.
Okay.
But I don't miss a football game.
He does not. He does not.
I don't miss a football game.
Did you ever think in a million years?
Nope.
I will say it's making him a better person day by day.
Appreciate that.
He's more communicative.
More communicative.
More of a communicative. Okay, so it's making a difference. It's making a difference.
It's making a difference one day at a time.
There you go. One day at a time. We
I
are here.
always wonder if he's up there listening to the sermon or if he's, just fiddling on his phone.
Both.
I never know.
Just wait for him
because I'm so high up in the air, so far back.
Right, because we don't sit together anymore. He's up in the media ministry, right, doing stuff. And I'm over there with the children's church.
Yeah, Candy Crush. There you go. You got it right. That's what I'm doing.
Ministering
for
the kiddos.
So a lot of things going on, a lot of tragedies, a lot of good things, bad things, indifferent things happening this week. So first, we're going to start off sending our condolences out to the family of Takeoff from the Amigos. He was tragically shot and hit and shot in the head and torso in Houston this weekend. So I want to send condolences out to his family and everybody. Know the Atlanta community is very, it's made national news. And from what I've heard people say, I didn't know the man personally, but I heard that he was not really a violent guy, they said.
And that he was like the nicer, the more humble,
quiet person in the group. So he's low key. So it's a shame that happened to him. So I want to condole out to his family. I know he has kids, his mother, and all those people, and even the members of the Migos, because they are blood-related family. They're not just group members; they're blood-related family.
So what is it? Quavo and Offset.
Yes,
they're brothers.
No, brothers? Cousins. Uncle.
They're cousins.
One is an uncle.
And then Quavo was Takeoff's
uncle. Yes.
So it's cousins and then uncle and nephew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's
that's either his brother or his sister's kid.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then that would have made Offset and Takeoff second cousins.
No, I think they're first cousins.
They would have had to been second cousins if Quavo.
Quavo might have been. I think Quavo was. They're both their uncles. Oh no, you're right. I'm getting confusing.
Exactly.
I don't know what
are you saying?
I don't know. I'm not getting into their family dynamics, but it's just a shame that it has to happen like that. It's hit national news. People talking about the travesty of this violence and all these rappers dying, young rappers getting killed for no reason. And I don't know how it's gonna change or who's gonna change it. It's hard to say because you got the negative people out here saying, "Oh, it's their fault because they rap about all this negativity." And you got other people saying they're trying to do better for themselves and the community, and you got people that just don't want them to do. It's like, okay, they got this. I want to take away from that.
Well, we don't really know the circumstances behind why, so I think that we should not
speculate.
We should not speculate as to why, because it could have just been a stray bullet. From what I understand, I think that's what the situation was. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was involved in an altercation.
Yeah. I don't think so either. Was any situation that he was involved in altercation?
So that's just a senseless act of violence rather than somebody coming for him.
Yeah.
But it just speaks to the larger issue of people having quick tempers.
Yeah.
Instead
anger
of fighting,
management.
is like it's a gun
Right,
comes
you don't
out.
even have like back in the day, people used to scrap and be like, "Dang, you got your ass whooped."
And then, but that's the problem. People have they're so low esteem, so low on themselves. Like you get your ass whooped, then you gonna leave, go get a gun. Oh, he beat my ass. Let me get back and go get a gun and shoot him.
Right, just take the ass whooping and keep it pushing.
Yeah. I don't even.
You gonna take the ass whooping and keep pushing?
Yeah.
Or you gonna deliver the ass whooping and keep pushing?
I'm gonna deliver.
but if I get my ass kicked, I'm not gonna pull my.
You ain't gonna pull your weapon.
I never even.
You ain't gonna pull the weapon.
I'll probably be like, if it's going down, I know we're about to go. I'll probably take my gun and like, here, hold this.
Right.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I cannot even see you being violent at all.
Really?
So like.
Yeah, I'm not. If I have to, I'll get there, but I don't really.
First of all, if I ever see you get mad, I'm gonna be scared. Okay, now Dwayne, maybe not, but Jeffrey,
you know something's going down. Jeffrey get mad.
I think we need to step like 10 steps back.
Everybody need to get out the way.
Like
it's really good reason, because you know Dwayne, he gonna cut somebody off, cut somebody out on sight. He don't give a damn.
That's called older. I think it gets older with age. You get up older, and you just. It's like I see everybody say that now. It's like once you get older and get a certain age, you're taking so much. It's
you're
like
tired.
You're tired. So your filter just disappears, and you start saying whatever you want to say. Like I see why old people say whatever they want.
They say whatever
they don't give a damn. I was like, okay. Shantae used to get mad. My dad and my said whatever he wants, straight first thing come to his mouth. I'm like,
well, but he did defend me. He did.
Oh, me?
Your daddy. Your daddy, after he called me fat, then he turned around and said, "Why is the wife going to work?" And then he cussed Dwayne out. He definitely did.
What?
He said.
But I went to work too.
This is what he said. He said, "You don't look the same. You done picked up too much weight." I was like,
in her old kitchen, in her old house.
Okay. I'm about to go to work. And he said, "You going where?" And I said, "I'm going to work." He said, Dwayne. Dwayne come get up. He thought it was an emergency. He said, "Your wife's going to work. What's wrong with you? You're just lazy." I was like, "Oh shit."
I had to go to work too.
I'm like, "I'm with you. I'm Porky because I gotta work."
Whatever.
I ain't got time to be working out because I got to take my ass to work.
Whatever.
So I was pissed off and happy all at the same time.
There you go. Y'all people got to get it together.
That's my favorite man clock story.
There you go with the gun. So as we were saying, people, you get to a certain age, your filter gets off, and you don't feel like talking to anybody. You just say what you want and say what you feel. But the first thing comes to your mind, damn, what's wrong with you? You ugly. Something like that. Just look at somebody.
Yeah, this lady at my old job, she was like, I remember I had my hair like a little curly fro, and she was like, "You like that hairstyle?" And I was like, "Yeah, why you don't like it?" She was like, "No, not really."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Oh, okay, well, good thing it's on my head and not yours."
No, not really.
I was like, "It's reason."
They tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is.
They tell it like it is.
You said you like that.
She was like, "Do you like that hairstyle?"
So telling it like it is or not. Telling it like it is or not telling it like it is. So does everybody know we are in an election cycle? Do you know?
No. Election cycle?
Yes, we are. This election cycle. So
he making up like names for it. Yeah. It's time to vote.
It's time to vote. If you haven't voted, get your ass out and vote. But these ads are getting crazy. These ads are getting ridiculous. So now I couldn't even pull it up on because I got it on Instagram, so I didn't have it on my phone. And I'm trying to find it. If y'all haven't seen this one ad, it is about discriminating against white people. White people are now being discriminated against, and they have to stop it. So if
I feel like for every
I'm trying to find, see if I
I
can
feel
find
like for
YouTube.
every year we've been discriminated against is as many years as they should be discriminated against. And
Yeah.
once
Who's we? Let's clarify. Don't just to be vague out there.
I'm saying for people of color,
Oh, okay.
for all the years that people of color were discriminated against,
Yeah.
I feel like that's how many years that the people of not the clear people should get discriminated against, so that they can see how feeling oppressed feels. And then that way, I feel that justice would be served.
Yeah.
I feel I would get my just due.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're right. And then plus, I don't need.
I mean,
that's-
they're like, okay, you've been oppressed for a whole year. Come the hell on.
And they really haven't. It's just like they feel that way because we're getting stuff now that we haven't gotten in a long time. And I feel like, oh, well, we want it too. Oh, no, it's hard.
Dante!
What do you say?
What did Dante say?
He said that's why they don't want you or any of your people ever to gain power.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm gonna keep discriminating against you for how many years? We was discriminated against for 500 years. Okay, you about to be discriminated against for 500 years.
Yeah.
And then once we do that, and you feel beat down and oppressed and disenfranchised and all of that, then we can call it even.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that they say that, but I mean, reality, there's no way they can be discriminated against.
Exactly.
You're
still the majority, dude.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. We still, no matter how much we get, we're still going to be looked at as.
We're still going to be behind.
Yeah.
Because we don't have ancestry wealth like y'all do. So there's really no way for us to ever really, truly be behind the mark.
Be ahead. You said be behind the mark.
Oh, well, yeah.
Be ahead of the mark. Because, you know, as they say, got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah.
How you going to pull up your bootstrap when you ain't got the boots to pull up?
Yeah.
Child.
You know what's funny? Like, I was thinking about this. I think about this all the time. You know, we still, like, we can go on a road trip. We still have to be mindful of what exit we go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that. Like, we have to make sure, is this a good exit for me to get on? Let me look around and see if I see another one of us.
Especially when you're driving in the South.
Absolutely.
You're driving in the South, you know, up north. And
my
you know,
parents can tell y'all so many stories, especially like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. They said, you know, sometimes it's like people, my dad can definitely tell you some stories about him keep going, like they surrounding the car and all this other kind of crazy stuff. Yeah. I just, child, the Lord knew what years to make me come out the womb.
I don't, and people say that, and Shantae is one of the people say they knew, but I don't think anybody who says this now, well, man, if I was born during slavery times, I wouldn't. No, you would have. Don't say that.
That's why I said the Lord knew when I was supposed to be born.
Because you can't say. You can't say if I was born in slavery times, I would have been running the plantation and master, we've been in free. No, you don't know that.
I would have been like,
you would have the same mentality that the slaves and the slave owners had.
I would have been Harriet Tubman. I've been starting the movement, shouting. I'd have been like, listen, Underground Railroad, we that mean you supposed to run.
Is that what that mean?
Yeah, when they would stomp and sing the hymnals and all of that stuff.
Negro
that was what you were supposed to do. So when they say wade in the water, that means you get in the water because there's trouble coming. So you get in the water and hide. That's what all that stuff meant. All the tribal stomping and all of this, the signal when to go and when to stop. It was a mechanism to be able to speak to each other without anybody knowing.
Okay. Excellent.
Excellent. Preach.
Okay, so Dante said they're not the majority. By the number, people of color outnumber others by a wide margin. They got all the power, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, they know they
a lot of power. Not all of the power, but a lot of power.
Yeah, they see that now. They're getting scared, like because they're starting to be the minority. And it's scary.
Well,
yeah. You know,
as they say, the great replacement theory that we're trying to replace them in this world. So I saw a clip, and we're getting back into it. I saw a clip from an old, I think it was either Jerry Springer Either Jerry Springer or Donahue. Y'all remember Donahue?
Yeah. I
Phil
remember
Donahue. I know y'all folks might know
Yeah.
who Phil
And
Donahue
who was
was.
that other lady with the red glasses?
Sarah Jesse Raphael.
Sarah
Sally
Sally
Jesse
Jesse
Raphael.
Raphael.
She got a long old day.
Yeah.
Sally Jesse Raphael and Phil Donahue. So I saw this clip where it was online where they had a group of white kids. The whole audience was kids. And the people on stage were white kids talking about that the black kids, the black people need to go back to Africa where they're from, and that the Bible says the native people going to have the land and all this. So then Jerry says, okay, so where y'all going back to? Because as a white person, I think Jerry or Phil Donahue said, as a white person, Jerry Springer or Phil Donahue. I didn't know who was Jerry or Phil Donahue. Jerry Springer, the host of let me say,
it was Jerry Springer. I think I did see it.
It was the host of the show. Was like, as a white man, he's like, well,
Jerry Springer,
where you going back to? Because this is the Native American land. This ain't white people's land. So where you going back to? It's like, no, this is our land. We by the grace of God gave us this land. No, he didn't give y'all nothing.
Y'all came over here and y'all pillaged
and took over
and brought slaves with you.
So it's the disinformation of just all this stuff that's going on. These people they don't understand. Kids they never understand. They're just like, okay, this is our land. America's our land. No, it's not. America belongs to all of us because we all were brought here from someplace else.
So what do you think? We would have never met each other. Well, I don't know, because even the Jamaican colonies, it's the same.
Yeah.
So maybe we was all from Africa.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. The slave ships stopped in
the Caribbean before they came to the United States.
They came to the United States. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the slave ships went to the Caribbean. They came from Africa, went straight to the Caribbean, and then they came up to South Carolina and the Carolinas. Or they didn't even go to Florida because Florida was owned by Spain.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the slave trade, which I did learn a little bit.
He was listening in history class. I was listening in history class.
Well, see, the funny thing is, I went to elementary school and middle school in Florida. So the Florida history is not as old as the United States is because Florida was owned by the Spaniards for a long time. So Georgia, you got Georgia, but Spain owned.
That must have been the day I was skipping school.
That day you skipped school.
That was the day I skipped school because I went to school in Florida too, and I don't remember none of this.
Elementary and middle school.
I went to middle school and high school.
So
I don't remember none of that.
Who owned Florida? Wasn't owned by the United States. So they went through the Caribbean and then they came up to South Carolina, North Carolina. The biggest slave trade was coming out of South Carolina. So everybody, Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana, all of them, they had to travel to South Carolina and get their slaves off the ship and bring them back to their plantation.
Shit, crazy as hell. I'm
sorry.
Huh?
Savannah was a port too. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Savannah was a port too. But Florida wasn't a slave trade port. So those slave trading colonies, I can't even say the states, slave trading colonies didn't travel all the way to Florida to pick up slaves. They traveled South Carolina and Savannah and Georgia on the coast to get their slaves and then walk them back to their so they lost slaves. That's why they buy them in bulk, because they lost slaves when they're walking them from Savannah to Louisiana. You think about that.
Yeah.
All of that just sounds asinine to me.
Well, there was no cars, no planes. It's like you had the wagon. So they didn't put them in the wagon. They made them walk.
Y'all was walking. Y'all don't get in there with us.
Yeah.
And a lot of the rebellious slaves, they dropped them off in the Caribbean. I know a lot of them in Jamaica. Haiti was one of them.
Haiti had one of the biggest slave rebellions.
Yeah. They won.
Yeah.
And that's why they're such a poor country now, because
they got rid of their colonization, so they didn't have any resources coming into it.
Yeah.
So Haiti, so
y'all in Caribbean.
So
So
we giving history lessons here on the show. Talking about what's going on back in the day as far as and that's why it's important to vote, people. I'm coming back around to the vote because we didn't have our rights to vote till 19. How long we haven't been able to vote since 1960s. Think about that. America's been around for 400 years. Was 1700s?
And we haven't even been able to vote for a quarter of the time.
Exactly. We ain't even been to vote for 100 years. So everybody
right now, like they remember when they couldn't vote.
Yes.
They're still alive now.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. We ain't even been able to vote for a quarter of the time, and you want to say that we holding y'all down? Out of here.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I told somebody the other day I voted for Herschel Walker. They about almost slapped me.
I guess they like this topic, Clark.
Call me
Professor Clark.
Professor Clark. I'm just going on some of the history I've learned in school. I remember some of those. So you think about slave,
And some places they didn't even teach all this to the kids, so that's probably you didn't know because they probably didn't. They try to cover up our history in some school, and they're still trying to erase erase a lot of the history.
Slave history is not history. It's a bad time. We did people had slaves.
Yeah, they're trying to stop doing that because they figured they don't want the white kids to feel bad about.
And yeah, that's the thing now. Critical race theory. That's why they're trying to get rid of critical race. And Dante probably could say that critical race theory is they thinking that the white kids or the non-black kids will feel bad about what happened and give them into depression because
this is why I understand.
Mm-hmm.
You can say that, but you can get behind the Netflix series Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched Dahmer? Have you watched it?
No.
So then why are you saying something? How you gonna reference something?
I'm just saying that they don't want to get behind the mass slave trade, but they can get behind serial killer chronicles. I mean,
well, that's why we have so many slave movies.
Yeah,
because a lot of them
my
are.
dad said he don't want to hear nothing about no.
A lot of them are most 90% of them are correct, are historically correct.
My dad said, I don't want to hear nothing about no slaves because I was going to be the one out there picking the cotton to get my ass whooped. I don't want to see nothing about no slaves. He was like, your mama was light skinned, so she would have been in there serving the tea. And she's like, and getting, bad things happening. He was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be getting your butt whooped. She was like, but I will.
Yeah, they're trying to give some time. They have their way. They'll take all of that out of the schools and the kids would know what happened. They're trying to erase all the bad history that America did. Like, no, you got to put it out there.
Well, no, because then if you erase that, then they won't understand why it's important to have, affirmative action and
the voting rights and the civil rights movement.
And then they'll try to vote those things down because they're like, I don't understand why they're getting preferential treatment.
We're all equal. We always been equal. Like,
no, we haven't always been equal.
Right.
And that's going to be in their brain if they don't learn about this.
Yeah, we've always been equal.
All of it in the 50s and 60s. All of that. You got to teach them all of that. Man.
And that's what they're trying to change. Trying to change the storyline now.
Right.
The narrative, so that kids now don't know what happened just 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Just 60 years ago, where people are still alive, they can remember when they couldn't go sit down at a coffee table, couldn't go to a place, Starbucks, with Starbucks, but you couldn't go to a diner and have a cup of coffee next to this guy, Johnny or Jimmy or whoever, because you got to go in the back, or you couldn't drink from a water fountain because they said that you had some kind of disease.
My mom always tells the story about how they had to go around the back of, because my parents, my mother is from Selma, Alabama. So,
the heart of the civil rights movement.
The heart of the civil rights movement. She talks about how she remembers her mother having to take them around the back of, places to either get food or whatever. And I mean, it was a lot of them. My mom had a lot of brothers and sisters, but they were all very, very fair complected. And so, my grandmother could go in there, and one of my uncles, he's very fair skinned as well, and so he was able to go in there, but the rest of them kind of had to stand outside because they was a little too dark to go inside. I mean, so she clearly depicts that. And then my great grandmother, she was very dark complected like me. Actually, she was darker than me, and so she remembers. I remember talking to her when she was still alive. She was telling the stories about the KKK and the white horses going through the neighborhoods and all of this other kind of stuff. And so it's a big deal because my great grandmother, she was the first one in our family to like own property in the city of Selma, which was Uncle Will's house.
Gotcha.
So that's why my mom wants to preserve it and make sure that it stays
in the
because
family.
that is like a very big deal.
Yeah. So history lesson, people. So it's like you got to understand. So you hear us talking about this history it's history, but it's very relevant to today. It's very relevant today to vote. Your right to vote was earned, hard fought by your ancestors and your relatives. It was very hard fought for them just to get their right to have a say in what happens in your life. You know, to own property. Because even when I'm in real estate now, we learned about the discriminations in real estate, where it's called redlining in certain neighborhoods. You were black, you had to stay in the black neighborhood. You couldn't buy a house in a white neighborhood, and they wouldn't. And banks would say, "Okay, well, where you want to buy a house? Okay, that's not an approved neighborhood. Like you couldn't go certain places, or they wouldn't give you loans because of you might have perfect credit, you might have all of that, but if you said okay, if you wanted to live in a certain neighborhood, they wouldn't give you the loan, even though that neighborhood might have been majority black, but there were white people living there. They didn't want any more black people. They wouldn't give you the loan. Banks would turn you down. So it was, it's called redlining, certain, and then they had that, and it stopped recently in the 90s because I was told about a situation in Douglas County, Georgia, where they were pushing people to a certain side of the railroad tracks where they had to live. So if you go to Douglas County now on the railroad tracks, so you go down Veterans Memorial, there's a lot more black people on one side of the railroad tracks than there's the other side, because that's where they made them all go, and they had a big old lawsuit about that. Learned that in real estate school. So it's like those conversations that similar conversations. Talk to your grandparents. I don't have any grandparents anymore to talk to, but I would have different conversations because all my grandparents grew up in Jamaica. So at their time, Jamaica wasn't independent, but the majority of everybody was black and was Jamaican. So even with British rule, there wasn't discrimination where they couldn't go here, couldn't do that. There was no Jim Crow. So Island, my experience was different. So I had to learn from history books and reading the American history of what's going on, because my parents and my grandparents couldn't tell me stuff that happened to them as far as not being able to ride the bus, not going to the water fountain or anything like that. So I learned from movies and reading.
And the reality of it is your heritage. You're not wearing your heritage on your chest. So to the average person, you're just a black person just like us.
Correct.
So
even if you was mixed, you're still a black person. And it's funny, I didn't learn about racism until we moved to Georgia. Yep. And being around racist people.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. We was in Miami. We was around mostly Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, and Jamaicans, and we had a few white folks in there in Miami, but it wasn't like that. Jeffrey came straight from elementary school to middle school.
And then the majority of my childhood was spent in California. So it's
California is very different.
It's way different. I was there until I was 12 years old. So by the time I moved to the South, I experienced 1 year of Alabama, and it was like a total shock. And then we moved to Florida, and then it was more similar to California. And so for the majority of my childhood up until I was about 18, I didn't really experience that. It wasn't until I was an adult, 18, when we came up here to Georgia, and that's where I really saw like the difference. I had never lived around that many black people, period.
Oh, what, in Georgia?
Until I moved to Georgia.
Oh yeah, and I had a different experience.
I never lived like we always lived in a very mixed community, close to the military bases and stuff like that. It just, the whole vibe was just completely different.
And then my experience was completely flipped. Coming from Miami, going to high school in North Cobb High School in Kennesaw, I didn't see so many white folks in my life ever. Because of course, like I said, my parents are Jamaican. So going to Jamaica, none but black folks go to Jamaica every year in the 80s. And then you come in, and I don't remember New Jersey because I was too young. We came to Georgia in 1991. There was like 25 black people in the whole high school. Yeah. And then I was like, whoa, what is going on here? I didn't know nothing about it. And it's like I didn't know about Marietta and every other areas, but it was just like it was a whole total shock. What is going on?
And for us, the majority of the people that I knew, like my friends, they were all mixed. Like 90% of the friends that I had, they were either Black and Korean, white and Mexican. Like I didn't have like my mom and dad being Black. There was only like maybe 2 other families that I knew that
Black parents
that had 2 Black parents. Everybody had like a Korean mom. You couldn't understand what they were saying, and their daddy was Black, and you got all these like mixed children running around, and so it just never made sense to me, that racism existed until I moved here and really started talking to my parents, and they really educated me on what that meant, because I didn't know. And as a little dark-skinned brown girl, Black girl, it was definitely different.
It's different. It's different.
It was definitely different for me.
It's different. And I just think about my child is just her completely different experience. I think my child thinks she's from Asia. Say she's into anime, and she's into Japanese and Korean culture, and she asked me the other day, I want to learn Spanish. I was like, okay, if you want to seriously learn Spanish, that's fine. So that means her mind is more broad than what ours were. So I'm happy about that. Because she asked
get her some Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, because she asked me out the blue. I said, "Don't you take Spanish in school?" Yeah, but I don't really learn nothing. I was like, "Okay."
I didn't learn nothing.
Yeah, I didn't learn no Spanish in school either. Spanish in school ain't really that good.
Or we should get her Babbel.
Babbel, I think that's
download to computer, whatever.
Yeah, Rosetta Stone is cool, but it's
Babbel because you get to talk to people.
Yeah,
something like that. Something that because she said I told her talk to her 2 aunties first about that, and then she can start talking.
Her aunt Brittany, she can speak fluent Spanish. So can Tiffany.
That's what I said.
Both speak it.
Okay.
I told her to speak to them first.
Tiffany lived in Ecuador, and Brittany lived in Panama.
Okay.
So I say learn the different culture. So
I lived in Japan. I don't remember 2 words. 2 words from damn Japan.
Japan. Did you go to Germany too, and to Italy or whatever?
To Italy and Korea.
To Korea.
I think I remember like 4 words.
What? So did you like Italy?
Italy was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you live there?
I wasn't there for too long. Maybe like 2 months.
Okay.
But still, that's enough. 2 months is enough time to like kind of see. Yeah. Like, dang, would I want to come back and visit? Or how was the food?
It was really good. Like they have pizza over there, but it's like pizza is like
it's real pizza, not the pizza they make over here.
Yeah, totally different. They hate the pizza we make over here. No.
So like the crust and all of that.
Yeah, the crust, and they give you a knife and fork when they serve it to you in a restaurant. It's really high class. You get a knife and fork, you gotta eat it. It's not like the pizza we got.
You don't eat that with a hand.
Nah, you go to a nice restaurant and you get pizza and a plate, knife and fork. So real pizza. Real nice, yeah. So it's a nice place. I can definitely go back.
Yeah, a lot of people say that it's very romantic. I'd be interested in French trip.
No.
Dwayne.
I'm not doing you can go.
Okay.
But I'm not doing no French trip to no Italy.
No. No. A couples trip?
Couples
there
trip.
You go.
Couples or couple?
Okay, a couple.
Okay, not couples.
Okay, we'll take our besties.
Well, just me and you, and one other couple. That's it. I'm not taking 5 or 6 couples or friends to Italy. No. That's too much. I like you have to limit. I told y'all already know who I am. I'm a limit. I'll tell you my friend or not. I'm like, I'm not taking y'all. Yes, Tiffany. Wow. I'm not taking everybody. I'm not taking Jesus. Yes, Tiffany. No, I'm not. I don't care. I make it known, like I just said earlier. I speak my mind. Some people, I just can't take everybody everywhere. Everybody don't want to take me everywhere, so I don't mind. You might not want me because of who I am to go someplace. So I understand that.
Well, maybe we take Rachel.
Yeah, we can do a family trip, but not a big family trip.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're not doing what them. It's just like you gotta think about those. Yeah.
Boy, he be acting, boy.
Don't you? We did one of those already. Like, okay, so I heard they're putting together another one. I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy.
Whatever.
Let's see what's gonna happen.
He be having just as much fun as everybody else.
Woo! Yeah. Family trips. I don't know about these family trips. He's gonna be some serious. Woo! We're gonna see what happens next year.
Look, please stop yourself ahead of time.
So you got to be a couple of discrimination. I'm not discriminating nobody, Tiff. I'm not discriminating nobody. I'm just saying I don't want to go with a whole bunch of people. Not to Italy. I go with a whole bunch of people to a beach, but not to Italy.
It's different, ain't it?
Correct. Yes.
It's different. I feel it on that.
Yes. Italy is different. I'm saying England is a different trip. If we go to United Kingdom, we go to Italy, places like that. Now, beach, there's certain things you do with a trip. Now it's like we say, hey, let's go to New York. New York.
He know he ain't never been to Italy. He don't know.
I don't know. That is correct.
No,
that is correct.
Something.
That I am just saying something. But I know I want to. I've been on family trips. I've been on a small family trip. I've been on big family trips, and I've been on friends trips. I know what I want to do. I've experienced certain ones, so I know which ones I'm not going on.
Dwayne, be quiet.
Don't have time for folks to be a damper on a trip. Italy is a very nice. I definitely will say that. Okay, see. Don't have time for folks to be putting damper on the trip. Correct, D. Dante, I don't have time for that no more.
You ain't got time for it.
You got time. You got time for that.
You ain't got time for
I need to have a button that say I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time. What's that lady? That lady that meme.
Oh, I don't remember. I want to go to the wine country.
The wine country in America or the wine country in Italy?
Yeah, the wine country in Cali.
Oh, you want to go to Napa Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go there too.
Ooh, let's plan a family trip.
Oh Lord, thank you, Jeffrey.
Don't look at me like that.
Huh? What?
What
Do that. Don't be like that.
Ain't nobody got.
You don't want to take a family trip.
Woo!
Me, Dwayne, you, Tim, Kel.
That's a family trip.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
Okay, yeah,
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that's it. I'm just saying.
Once you start adding up more people,
I got family members I love, and I love them to death, but I don't want to take no trips with them. I got blood relatives I love to death. I would die for them, but I don't want to take no trip with them because they're gonna get on my nerves, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Jeffrey know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. I love them to death. Would do anything for them, but I don't want to go on a family trip with them because I've learned my lesson. They will irritate the mess out of me, and I'll be like, "Oh, I thought this was a vacation. Oh, I thought this was a vacation."
Like some people you can't travel with. I get you.
Yeah.
Like me, like I understand the importance of traveling. Like you have fun and not sit there and make a big deal out of small stuff. You're on vacation, have fun.
Yes.
And some
Just
people
chill.
don't know. Some people just do not know how to do that.
Correct.
They don't.
Correct.
And you can't just travel with everybody. Right.
Correct. So we've learned that
I like
lesson.
to chill. Like,
Yeah.
I don't be wanting to do too much. I do stuff, but I don't want to do too much.
Yeah. And they don't complain like you don't want to do nothing.
So wait, who are you referring to? Tiffany asked who I'm referring. I'm not saying who I'm referring to, Tiffany. So don't worry about it.
So stop worrying.
Yeah, so stop
You
worrying.
ever been on a group trip with somebody? There's always one person who's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. They're just complaining the whole time.
No, because they don't get invited.
Oh, okay. Well,
They don't get invited because let me tell you something. I know the people I'm around. And so if I feel like it's gonna be some drama before we even leave, you ain't even getting no invitation.
Yeah.
Dwayne, no, I don't be with that. I'll be like, let me look at this list and let me check my list twice. If you don't get no invite, there's a reason.
Yeah.
So we cut people off the list.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Like our trip, like the St. Martin. Listen.
Yeah. We had a trip to Puerto Rico. Not Puerto Rico. We went to Mexico.
Oh,
and we know who not to invite.
The Puerto Rico trip was nice.
The Puerto Rico trip.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
Magnifique.
Puerto Rico was cool.
Yeah, we walked the thing. We remember when we was walking down the thing by ourselves.
We're walking down the street, the street lot, the
Yeah,
West
when
Small
it was
Street.
all
Yeah,
night.
at night. Yeah, that was
nice.
cool.
It was real
I don't
nice.
appreciate y'all talking about trips that I didn't go on.
Well, that was a family
Yeah,
trip.
that
That was
we
with
were
her
my
parents and her sisters
Oh, okay.
and Rachel. That was a family trip.
Oh.
Now, if we start talking about Cancun,
Okay.
and that was a
yeah,
trip that you were
now,
invited
was
to,
lit.
that your ass didn't come, and we
It
told
was-
you,
it was
but that was
lit.
all. We were going on. We had the pool,
Yeah,
was
it was
lit.
lit,
We had the
Shawty.
party, the phone parties. We had food in it.
It was
This
lit,
is going
Shawty.
on. It's just all right. So that's our time, people.
So he know it ain't him.
They said don't feel bad. Oh. Well, I don't know what y'all doing. Tiffany, get it together. We need to make decisions because we need to start paying for this next year's trip. So I don't know what's going on. But
Don't do her like that.
I'm sorry.
We in the planning stage.
we're in the planning stage. Okay, yeah.
Settle yourself.
Okay,
friend.
planning stage. I just need to know because I need to
Settle
start paying for it.
yourself, friend.
So, but thank you everybody for tuning in, hanging out with us. We had a large crowd, and I appreciate y'all every week. We went off on a tangent, talking about history and Black history and voting. But like I said again, I want to reiterate: please go vote if you haven't. Tell somebody you know, go vote if they haven't.
And listen,
Tomorrow is the last day for early voting.
and don't lie to me because I can look you up and see if you voted and see how often you vote.
Yes.
And I will call your booty out.
Somebody texted me, one of those volunteers texted me like, I'm happy that you voted early, but are you going to tell 3 people to go vote? So I'm telling all 7 of y'all go vote. 7. So go vote.
It's a critical time.
Critical
guys. We're at
time.
a critical
And I'm going
point.
to tell you this. I might not say, don't tell you who to vote for. I'm going to tell you don't vote for Herschel Walker. That's all I got to say. I don't care. Anybody else, I don't care.
Even if you got to write yourself.
Because if you like Herschel, Stacey Abrams is good. Brian Kemp, you might like Brian Kemp with some of the stuff he did for you while he was in office. Stacey Abrams might can do better. I don't know. I can't really do that. But with Herschel Walker, you better not put that dummy in office. That's all I gotta say.
That big dummy.
Don't put that big dummy in office.
Big dummy.
But that has been our show. We appreciate y'all hanging out. Jeffrey will not be here next week. Jeffrey will be on vacation, having a good time. Thank you, Jeffrey. He had Jeffrey pre-telling us I won't be here this week. But
first of all, we will be checking his house. Every day he's gone. So don't get no ideas.
And
you think you're froggy? Go ahead and jump.
I don't get paid for this, but Black Panther will ever come out next week, and we will be going to see it as soon as it comes out.
And there's only 11:30 a.m. shows, so just FYI
on Saturday.
On Saturday for those friends that were in the text.
FYI.
11:30 a.m. show. Everything else was either booked or they didn't have enough seats next to each other.
FYI, friends.
So 11:30 Saturday. If you want to go, cool. If not, oh well. I'm going Friday night. If nobody texts me by Monday, I'm going Friday night. So thank you so much. Appreciate y'all hanging out, and we'll catch y'all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Peace.